What's up, everybody? Alex here. Welcome back to another video, and welcome to a tribute, year in review, retrospective, whatever you want to call it, of the releases this year from Colemine Records. Represent. So, when I started this channel about a little over a year ago, whatever it was, one of the first things I found myself getting really interested in was not only music that I loved and that I was passionate about, but music or art that had a sense of community, gave me a sense of community, gave me something local to really invest in emotionally and with my time and all that kind of stuff. And at some point, I forget exactly what it was that got me to the point. I personally discovered Colemine Records. Now, for people who know me and my channel know I talk about Colemine quite frequently. For people who are probably into soul music, funk music, and are really big record collectors, you probably know of the Colemine label. And for those who are just, random people watching, maybe you don't know. So Colemine Records is an independent record label out of Loveland, Ohio. It sort of operates out of or in the same sort of building as Plaid Room Records. For me, it's about an hour and a half away. And it is something that not only did it spark my interest in soul music or funk music or other types of music that I wasn't previously interested in, I thought it was the coolest thing that there was a local independent record label out of Ohio that was really investing in this sort of neo soul funk, whatever you want to call it, kind of art. So all that to say, I started really digging in. I started really looking at the records and the artists and trying to collect them and all that type of stuff. And at some point in the spring, I believe, I had the honor of interviewing Terry Cole, the owner of Colemine Records and sort of the brains behind the operation. That's linked below if you care to go back and watch that interview. As well as a few weeks after that, getting the chance to interview Louis Robert King, who is a composer and arranger and has shown up on a number of different Colemine records, whether it's with the Ironsides or Kelly Finnegan, Salvatore Giugrato, and many and more. So all of that to say, I wanted to kind of give the year in review of the Colemine releases. Of course, I got them all. They released 14 LPs, sort of a combination of newer artists, older artists, some reissues, those types of things, but I wanted to walk through them. And if you wait all the way to the end because you are just so patient and so supportive of me and my babbling, there will be a bit of a giveaway. So wait for that. Cool. So the first release this year in 2024 was the 5th LP from the jazz, the Ghost Funk Orchestra. I started reading the hype sticker, which reads, "A Jazz Funk Space Odyssey. This is a trip to the moon." So Jazz Funk Orchestra, they've been around now for a while. They were one of the original artists on Karma Chief, which is sort of the sister label of Colemine and all operates out of the same place. And it's exactly what it sounds like. I tell people of Ghost Funk Orchestra, it's what it sounds like. It is funky, it is psychedelic, it is spacey, it's in your face. 2 female singers, good head bob and stuff. To me, this is the type of stuff I recommend to people who maybe come from more of like the classic psychedelic sort of rock and funk type stuff. It's not incredibly, I would say it's very accessible. But I could see how people be like, "Whoa, that's a little bit out there." And again, A Trip to the Moon, super psyche, super spacey. This is on the Colemine web store exclusive, which looks like this. Very cool purple. That was limited to 300. And yeah, actually, I got a chance to see Ghost Funk Orchestra over the summer here in Columbus as well, and they were amazing live. I mean, they're a type of band where their records are great, but if you want to see them, see them at their best, it is live, absolutely. So yeah, Ghost Funk Orchestra, their 5th record, A Trip to the Moon. What a great record. Next was a new band, the debut LP. They had released a number of singles through Colemine, I believe. But this, I think, took people by storm. And that is the first from The Sinceres. Now, this is throwback kind of LA soul from the 60s at its finest, 1000%. If you grew up on or find yourself loving just old school LA soul, these Sinceres are the way to go. This is Sincerely Yours. This, I mean, not gonna say it blew up, but I mean, people love this type of stuff. It came out of nowhere. Actually, I have a promo copy, not because they sent it to me, but because I bought one because the web store exclusive actually sold out so quickly. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you're into old school soul, East LA type stuff, these Sinceres are absolutely amazing. So, yeah, this was awesome. Again, it seems like they're touring all the time. If they're anywhere around here, I want to go see them for sure. But yeah, again, old school soul, if you're into it, these Sinceres, amazing. This was a new artist from Melbourne, Australia. They're on the College of Knowledge Records out of Australia, and then sort of, I guess, like the American or US counterpart, of course, is Colemine. And this is Karate Bugaloo, Hold Your Horses. This is some instrumental soul, funk, not overly produced, pretty laid back. We use the term like Sunday morning listening a lot, but this is mood music for sure. This is not something that's going to be like, oh my gosh, now I'm pumped up, ready to go. This is certainly some sit back, relax, almost soundtracky sounding type stuff, not overly produced or bombastic, but just really great laid back instrumental soul. One of the cool things with this, well, this is also the web store exclusive on the sort of bone type of color here with some of that yellow in there. But obviously the coolest part about this is sort of the optical illusion type cover that they're working with here as you sort of, yeah, do this type of stuff. Yeah, so very cool cover. Again, instrumental soul from Australia. Great stuff with Karate Bugaloo. This was kind of a cool reissue, in a sense, an artist that I was not familiar with until it popped up. I do think that this got released years ago, but it is an artist called Charlie Be Real. First of all, what an album cover that is. I mean, that is just some badass shit right there, all the way through. So I forget exactly when this was released, but essentially they compiled it and released on the album. So this might have been a CD or streaming or something before. I forget exactly what, but this was the first time it was ever actually pressed to vinyl. This is some pretty good neo-psychedelic, some R&B backdrops, great guitar playing from Charlie. A gospel-delic communion with 6 strings is what the hype sticker says. But yeah, this is some pretty good stuff. Again, neo-psychedelic, neo-soul type R&B backdrops. Super cool stuff here from Charlie Be Real. This was another artist that people were really, really excited about because it's a super group of Colemine artists, and that is the debut In Green We Dream from the Parlor Greens, consisting of members from the Scone Cash Players, Delvon Lamar Organ Trio with Jimmy James on guitar, and then Tim Carmen from GA20. So a full sort of Colemine super group, and this is just good old fashioned, dirty, nasty, funky organ funk, man. I guess like when people think of like organ funk, organ soul, they think of like Booker T and the MGs. But this is like dirtier, funkier than that, right? This is like, get that out, like it's gonna be in your face type stuff. But this was awesome stuff. This was, again, the Colemine exclusive. I think this is on like a gold here. Yeah, kind of like a cool gold. This is good stuff. Again, if you're into Delvon Lamar Organ Trio, you'll love this too. It is Organ Trio at its finest for sure. This is something that is completely, I think, different, right? So when I talk about Colemine, or people talk about Colemine, a lot of it is sort of neo-soul, some psychedelic here, some R&B here. But there's a handful of artists that don't really represent that at all and are still on the label. And this was one that kind of blew my mind because I love this type of music. And this is Reverend Baron's Overpass Boy. Again, I think this was a record that came out several years ago, but pressed for the very, very first time here. This was only limited to 100, I believe. A cool gold look there. A songwriter's ode to wandering through the city. So this is just great lo-fi East LA singer-songwriter stuff. If you're into just indie singer-songwriter stuff, whether it is, you know, bands like Fleet Foxes or like Father John Misty or that type of stuff, like Sam, if you're out there watching this, like I think you would be into this type of stuff for sure. I mean, it does not fall into any other sort of category of the soul, the funk, all that type of stuff that is on Colemine at all, but just really solid indie singer-songwriter stuff. And yeah, I absolutely loved this. So yeah, this is Overpass Boy from Reverend Baron. Great stuff. This next one I think is pretty awesome, and I know that these cats are in a pretty cool place right now because they are Grammy nominated, which is awesome, and that is the latest Rhapsody from the Harlem Gospel Travelers, and that's exactly what they sound like. I mean, they are a new school gospel R&B group that is just awesome, who've been nominated for a Grammy for Best, I think, Roots R&B. I forget the exact category. This was a record that kind of pays tribute to a lot of the Numero group songs, and so it's a covers record per se, but also a lot of like gospel and R&B kind of is. But yeah, if you're into that sort of old school, new school gospel, amazing vocals, energetic, all that type of stuff, yeah, Harlem Gospel Travelers are the way to go, and that's a dope cover too, by the way. Good stuff. Grammy nominated. Awesome. This next one's a twofer, and that is from Pale J. So first is Pale J's most recent record, Low End Love Songs. Pale J, if you like big, falsetto, soulful, some more like kind of, I don't know, trip-hop type backbeats going on, Pale J is going to be your human. Great stuff. When I listen to Pale J, it really is kind of more mood setting for me. Again, amazing vocals, great music, but it's certainly a more atmospheric sort of experience, more so than maybe some of the other artists. But with that, Colemine also re-released his first release, The Celestial Suite. So this was like his first EP that really hit the streaming services, and so now they are finally re-released this. This is just an EP. Side 1 contains the EP of 5 tracks, and side 2 is the instrumentals on it. So, yeah, Pale J, the mystery masked singer, searing falsetto over filthy soul beats and red mask mystery soul. Yeah, Pale J, really great stuff. This next artist is another artist I got a chance to see this past summer, and she absolutely blew me away. And that is a reissue of the first record release from Kendra Morris. Kendra is extremely prolific in her releases. I want to say another one's probably coming out in 2025, but this was a reissue of her debut, and it's called Banshee. I forget, that might have come out in like 2015 or so, 2012. And yeah, I love Banshee. I mean, I love all of Kendra Morris's stuff, but to me, Banshee's my favorite, and then maybe it's 9 Lives. I have to check in on that. Kendra, I think from Florida, but lives in New York, and I don't mean to make this comparison just because it's a woman doing like old school, new school soul, but I think to me, it's like, I think of a more, it leans into Amy Winehouse in that sort of sense, but I think it's hard to explain, I guess. Again, I don't want to just compare it to Amy Winehouse for that reason, but an incredible singer, great soul music, good kind of back on some soul and a little bit more complex arrangements, in my opinion. But yeah, Kendra's just the greatest, and yeah, it was awesome to see her this past summer. Banshee from Kendra Morris. Also got a chance to see this guy, and maybe one of my favorites on the label, although I do love them all, and that is the latest from Kelly Finnegan, A Lover Was Born. Kelly Finnegan, of course, the leader of the Monophonics, who've become one of the most well-known and most well-respected artists on the Colemine label. This is as good as you get to that sort of old school, LA soul music. Kelly's voice is absolutely incredible. He's on the organ, just an amazing player and arranger. If you like soul music, you will like Kelly Finnegan for sure. Again, this is A Lover Was Born. This is quintessential soul music. The sticker says it. And yeah, when I got a chance to see him, he was kind enough to sign that for me. So yeah, Kelly Finnegan is the absolute man. Speaking of the absolute man, this is another artist that kind of falls outside of the whole soul sort of wing, and that is Andrew Gabbard with his third release on Colemine or Karma Chief with Ramble Rave On. Andrew Gabbard, he's been in the game for a while. He's a Cincinnati boy, so he's an Ohio guy. He's in a band with his brother. They had the Gabbard Brothers, which was on Colemine. They came from a different Cincinnati band called the Buffalo Killers, I think. And he's been a touring and studio member of the Black Keys for years now. An extremely talented guy. He plays nearly every instrument on this record. And this, again, is not in that sort of neo-soul category. This is definitely more singer-songwriter, leads into a little bit more, I guess you can kind of say, some Neil Young. I always get like a little bit of almost like a Joe Walshy type of voice from him. Definitely more singer-songwriter, just good old-fashioned, old-school kind of rock and roll type stuff. And yeah, Andrew Gabbard, Ramble and Rave On, a great record. This was a release on Record Store Day, so I just showed it a couple of weeks ago, and that is the reissue of Bugaloo from Orgon. This came out, I believe, in 2008. It might have been Orgon's second record, but this is the first time it's been on vinyl. I love Orgon. I mean, this is like, if you're into, this is the type of band I recommend to people who are like, I don't know if I'm into soul as much, but I kind of lean into the funk stuff. If you lean into the funk stuff, you'll love this band and you'll love this album for sure. What are they calling this? A Funky Cali Deep Groove Classic. Absolutely is. Double LP. If you want to just stream a song on here, check out Open Season, an absolute banger of a track. And yeah, I was pumped that this came out for Record Store Day, limited to 3,000 copies. You can find this at your local record stores if they support it. So yeah, great stuff. And last, certainly not least, because this blew me away, but a new artist on the Colemine label and the debut LP from this artist. This is Thoughts of You from Salvador Dragado. More instrumental, psychedelic soul, what do they call it? Shadowy noir instrumentals. Yeah, this is so, it's almost like lo-fi. It is serene. It is dark. It's mysterious. You kind of just get this sense that when you're listening to this, you're like walking through a dark alley, in LA or something. Like, it is that sort of mysterious and powerful. I absolutely loved this. I know that this artist, Joey Rhymes, something like that, I forget. Joey Reyna, is really into photography. I think he's really into movies, all those different things. Like, you definitely get this sort of sense of mysterious, dark art that is a part of this. So yeah, I absolutely loved this. Again, instrumental, soulful, soundtracky type stuff. If you're into just getting into a mood, this is amazing. So yeah, there you all go. That is the 14 LPs. I'm really excited for what they do in 2025. Of course, I'll be the first one lined up, I'm sure, to buy all of them. And if you've gotten to this point, if you've watched all 18 minutes and 38 seconds of this, I wanted to do a little bit of a giveaway, but it's like a flash giveaway. I don't want this going on for too long. So I'm going to take this up to New Year's Day. So that gives us what? I don't know, about a week and change? We can change. If you leave a comment on this video and tell me which of these records would interest you the most, you'll be entered into a drawing, and I will buy one of these records and send it to you. At this point, I am limiting that to people in the lower 48, just because shipping gets out of control, and I wish there was a better way to get it to you, but shipping is just crazy. Unless you would be okay with paying for the shipping. So there you go. If you're outside the lower 48 and you're okay with paying for shipping, you're more than happy to jump in here and I'll still buy the record record for you and send it to you. But certainly if you're in the lower 48, out of any of these that I've shown, if any of them would be of interest to you, leave that in the comment, and then on New Year's Day, I'll do a little drawing, and whoever wins, I'll send that record to you. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you feel better about the Colemine catalog, and I've, whatever, educated you, whatever you want to say. And hope everybody's doing well in the holiday season. This is not necessarily a positive time for everybody, and that's okay. That's people like me and others are thinking of you. And if it is a positive time for you, then have a great time and spend time with the ones you love. So thanks again for watching, everybody. And let me know which one of these you think would be great for you. And there's your flash giveaway. So take care, y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.